Hey Blue World, this is Cameraman Zach coming to you from the Whalen Underwater Studios today, my home studio. I want to come to you and talk briefly about what we did in the Philippines. We did a lot of fun stuff. We did a lot of muck diving because you guys seem to love our Florida muck diving. We're going to have some even better muck diving coming up. But at the end of the trip, the big thing we did get to do was go swim with whale sharks. We went to the island of the town of Oslob, and we found this group of fishermen who feed the whale sharks. So you get these amazing up-close encounters with whale sharks, unlike anything I've ever seen before. We do want to talk a little bit about why we chose to go to Oslob, because we did get some feedback when we posted some photos in the field. I put some photos on my page. People were a little questionable about what happens there. There are a lot of issues around the idea of feeding wildlife in general, especially feeding something so big as a whale shark. The big part about what goes on in Oslob is these fishermen will go out at night and they hunt by lantern light. They'll put a lantern on, and all the little plankton and little fish that the whale sharks like to eat will come up to the surface at night. They scoop it all up in a net, they bring it to shore. The next morning from 6 a.m. to noon, they go out, they throw it in the water, and the whale sharks start to come in, and then they'll parade them up and down as tourists start coming in these other canoes. They go up and down, feeding the sharks. So it's an amazing chance to see a whale shark up close. The big question is, what does this do to the whale sharks? Whale sharks are definitely migratory. What does this do to the population? It definitely keeps population of sharks in that area. So you're gonna have a few sharks that stick around. Well, there are some that still migrate. What tends to happen to this is the juveniles are the ones coming in. So even though in the video you might see these sharks look huge, they're still juveniles. They're still about the size of a small boat, not a bus. For the adults, there's just simply not enough food. The juveniles tend to go and eat, and as they get bigger, eventually they just can't get enough food from this event, and they go back with the adults and they begin their normal migration cycle. People are also very afraid of the human interaction. This is training these sharks to go close to boats, and you definitely do see that. There were more than one shark that we saw that had marks on it from being hit by propeller or bumped by boats. They do an amazing job for the number of people that are in the water of keeping people away from the sharks. There's a whole briefing you have to go through before you get in the water. You're not allowed to go within 5 meters of the shark. They really do enforce it. I know in years past when people have gone there, it was kind of lax. They've really stepped that up in these past few years. When we went, there were armed security guards at the front. And when we were in the water, more importantly, the guides were very quick to pull people out. The guys were jumping in the water. They were grabbing people. As scuba divers came in, they'd actually free dive down and told scuba divers to go away. So they're very proactive about keeping you away from the sharks. There is going to be some interaction. You're bringing a lot of people close to these big animals. But overall, what you see, there are so many people there, and they're hanging off their pontoons, and you can hear them shrieking and shouting and just so happy and so amazed to see this animal. They're so big. It is so amazing, and it's a life-changing experience. You know, Jonathan and I are professionals. We do this all the time, and we came back amazed. So with 500 to 1,000 people a day getting to swim with the sharks, that's an average of 270,000 people a year get to swim with these whale sharks, and they truly become ambassadors. These people who may never be in the ocean, who've never seen a shark, never seen anything like that, are going to walk away from this experience in awe of these sharks, and they're going to be shark ambassadors. They're going to want to protect the ocean. They're going to want this. So the benefit that we see, you've got minimal impact on the sharks, but you're creating hundreds of thousands of people who care about sharks, and the local economy is booming. For the first time, the people on this island are able to send their kids to college. They're able to live a better life because of the sharks. These sharks are worth vastly more to them now than they were back in the days when they ate them. The Philippines has put a ton of laws in recently to create marine protected areas, to protect wildlife, and they've even gone so far as to put the whale shark on their money. So if you go to the Philippines, you actually see the whale shark on their 100 peso note. I know there'll be some questions, some comments coming. Keep an eye out for upcoming episodes as well. We've got a ton of stuff coming from the Philippines. And don't forget to subscribe. In the comments, you might see Whalen Underwater. That is me, Cameraman Zach. I run Whalen Underwater Photography as well. Till next time, have an amazing time out there in the blue world.